All right. So, hello, everyone. So, this is another conversation regarding personal branding. This week, I've been trying to answer some of the top questions that I get via email, via DMs, via conversations when I'm speaking at engagements. And it's been pretty cool. You guys are really getting to, I would say, harder questions and more deep rounded questions. And yesterday, I had a conversation about the day in the life of someone managing their personal brand. And I addressed the fact that obviously, when it comes to personal branding, I feel like we're having the same generic conversations around building a personal brand. But really, what it is like we're all trying to figure out the secret sauce or systems or strategies to really just manage our personal brand, being that we're living in an age of the internet where everything's online. Everyone really builds trust first with your personal brand on the internet before they really interact with you. That personal brand management is going to be the most crucial skill set that you're going to need to adopt for the rest of your career, for the rest of your life, really. And I address the fact that for those of you who are overthinking what managing a personal brand is that I was really starting with the conversation around like you're not building a brand, you're building an audience, and ultimately the strongest brands are the ones that builds like the strongest, most committed global audience. For today, as a response to my session yesterday, you can just go on my YouTube channel and see the previous recording for yesterday's session. Today, I'm always reading messages from people who follow me, people who are in my network, people who are on my newsletter, and I'm just tired of the bullshit that you guys like keep making in order to really move forward and position yourself for greatness. It's really frustrating to see. A lot of people say, Christine, you don't coach year round. I have set times in a year where I do coaching. Part of the reason why is because I have so much frustration seeing people really limit themselves in their thinking and just really just kind of tap out before they get started. Like you take yourself out of a race before you can like register to start. And it's really frustrating. So today's session really is why waiting until you have insert whatever bullshit excuse that you have to build your personal brand is a big mistake, especially in today's economy. And I said this before that there was a time when building a personal brand was optional because we had a completely different lifestyle where you did not have to have a strong presence online. Now it's no longer optional. It's actually quite crucial for you to build a strong personal brand in today's economy. And I'm going to share with you my feedback and insight over the next couple of minutes to really make sure that you understand the gravitas of really taking this, not just this conversation seriously, but the action items that I'm going to share with you as paramount. Okay. And so, with that said, I want to begin by saying that, here's some of the things I usually hear. Usually people say, well, I'm waiting to have, here's some of the excuses. If I have more money, the right amount of capital to invest in my personal brand, I'll get started. Some people say, hey, when I know what I want to sell, whether it's a coach or a consulting program or a conference, then I'll get started. Another big one is like, well, I don't have a team to help me manage my personal brand. So when I have a team, then I can get started. Another BS excuse I hear is like, when I have a website, then I can get started. And the biggest one of all, because everyone, it's time. If I have more time, I'll be able to get started. And this one takes the cake because really just discipline. As someone who is a mother, a wife, serial entrepreneur, I'm not saying time management is easy. That's the reason why the most disciplined ones are the ones that we hear of, right? But time management is crucial, especially in a world where there's so many competing things for your attention. You cannot say that you need more time. What you need is to manage the time you have. You only have 24 hours. So there should be no discussion of having more time, right? It's been like that. Since we opened up our eyes as a society, 24 hours in the day is all we have. And 8 of those hours have to be between resting and sleeping. So realistically, you have less than that, right? And so I want to make it very, very clear that in today's economy, it is a big mistake if you do not try to figure out the profitability of your expertise, right? Some of you are sitting on knowledge and know-how that could truly not only change your personal trajectory in terms of income, revenues, and opportunities, but also for other people who could really learn from your wisdom, right? Some of you are waiting too long to try to figure out your purpose. I've seen so many people get frustrated that they wait decades to navigate going through this process to find their ultimate purpose and really try to chase the real best blessing in life, which is fulfillment, right? Some of you are waiting to try to figure this out and missing out on career opportunities that you never even saw was possible because you're waiting for whatever excuse that you're creating for yourself. Some of you are not even in a position to see what brands you could work with, what communities you could build and empower. You're waiting till it's too late to figure this out. The best time to have built a personal brand and really work on it proactively is yesterday. The best time is today, simply because when you are in a state of panic and scarcity and just complications and setbacks, which a lot of people are facing in today's economy, it makes it hard for you to be creative and proactive. Right now, while we're in the state, I tell people, you think the economy is bad right now, get ready for the next couple months because it's going to only get worse and worse and worse. And it gets worse before it gets better. I understand that. We've been through, financial cycles. I've lived long enough to see that. But you do not want to wait to figure this out. The beauty of it is actually figuring this out throughout your career journey. And the earlier you start, the better it is for you, because things are changing rapidly as well. And you want to be able to build that muscle to really learn the art of really managing your personal brand to position yourself at all times for what's next, because you don't ultimately know what next. You might have a roadmap you want to follow. You might have an idea of where you want to go, but personal branding is really the sweet spot in the middle between your plan and your vision for the future and how people receive it and make it happen with you, right? So you do not want to wait till it's too late to do that, right? There's so much frustration, untapped potential, people being frustrated of waiting too long. And that's why I'm going to transition this into really my regrets of not starting sooner. And so I'm going to share with you 7 really brief regrets that I have that I don't want you to experience in your journey, because had I have acted a lot sooner, even with all the accolades and achievements that I've accomplished, thank the Lord for everything that he's given me, the path that he's given me, the blessings that he's given me. I am immensely grateful, right? I would not change a damn thing, to be frank with you. But as a human being, you still are going to have those regrets and decisions that you wish that you took sooner, because indecision is a poor decision. Let's be frank. A lot of you think by not doing anything at all, you're actually saving yourself. You're actually hurting yourself even longer. So just remember that indecision is also a very poor decision. So with that said, here are some regrets I do have that I don't want you to experience in your lifetime, that why it's really imperative that you start on this today. One, I think a lot of people say, well, I don't have the credibility to really build a personal brand. And you really have this imposter syndrome to walk out into the world as an authority, right? But I always tell people that you are always 2 steps ahead of someone else. So you do have credibility, you do have authority, and those are the people that you want to empower. So I remember there was a time where I was saying, I want to wait until I have success. And by success, the measurement of success from a lot of people is like the media features, the awards, the recognition. And many of you who have seen my journey, seen that I've done it all. I've multiple media features, hundreds. I have multiple awards, multiple recognitions from all over the world. I achieved, and I'm still achieving all that. Now I'm doing better with that attention, that visibility. But when I first had that first wave, and that first wave of media and clout and opportunity, you're never going to have that genesis the same way again. And I think it's a huge mistake on my part to have waited, because I had no end goal for converting that visibility into something tangible. So I was getting all the awards features in the world, but I didn't have a strong personal brand, a website, or something to galvanize those people to be on my newsletter, to be on my email list, to follow me for what's next. So when I am ready, as the stages of my life grow and manifest, I'm able to pull those people with me, right? And one thing that I shared with people on my newsletter today, that I was so horrible. I had a major speaking engagement back in Dubai that really went very viral. And this was around the time when I did a TED Talk where I got thousands of visibility. And I remember there was another girl who had literally no accolades in compared to what I've accomplished. because she had a call to action at the end of her presentation, which is to follow her on newsletter. We were speaking on the same stage. I walked away with standing ovation, applause, media features, which is all great. She walked away with about, when she told me, because we were close at the time, she walked away with about 114,000 subscribers in a matter of, like, I think about the span of 2 or 3 weeks, spanning from that, from people watching the recording, followed up. That's all she did, was just put a recording of her speech, galvanize people on the PowerPoint presentation, like, here's how you can connect. She built a subscriber base. And to this day, she is still monetizing and growing and building and supporting and servicing. I call them the day ones, right, of that group that was with her from that day when she took the stage about 15 years ago. I had zero subscribers because I didn't know how to turn that visibility. And keep in mind, she monetized that first series of people coming in. That was about 114,000 followers into about 38K. And at the time, you got to think 15 years ago, to make that type of money just from one engagement is crazy, right? And I remember thinking to myself, just knowing the simplicity around really being proactive around your personal brand, I could have done the same, if not more, because I had 10 times the amount of credibility at the time than she did, right? So for those of you who are waiting for that accolade, that achievement, that recognition before doing XYZ with your personal brand, don't, because you want to be ready before that energy, that wave of visibility comes in. That's the first one. The second thing is, and this is a big excuse I see a lot of people say, I will wait. They want to wait till they build a website. And I remember I was a coder. So I learned how to code when I was pregnant with my first child about 8 years ago. And prior to that, I took for granted that social media platforms are still a beginning start for me to build my audience in the meantime. So I was constantly revamping my website almost every 2 years, really thinking about it being good and looking nice. And now I'm just like, yeah, we are in an age where just a basic landing page is enough to get people excited for what you do, right? By the time I really overthought the process, now I leverage platforms like LinkedIn and really great, but I took it for granted back then. And so waiting to have a website to start email list building was the worst thing. And I'm sharing with you, don't wait till you have a website to build an audience. You can convert people straight from social media into an email list to start cultivating and servicing that audience immediately, even if you're not ready. The third thing is, waiting for the right product to create, to sell, right? You may be overwhelmed by all the different gurus on the internet tell you to sell a course, do a conference, do a podcast, do a YouTube channel. All that requires a lot of upfront work, and I get it. But just have a one-to-one consulting conversations, coaching conversations. You can start that today on Zoom or Google Live, literally with $0 investment. You can start giving out your knowledge. Right? So I wish I didn't wait till I had a structure of teaching before putting myself out there, right? Because you could start conversations. And if you don't feel like you're ready to charge, start having those conversations so you build up the credibility to start charging. Sometimes some people need only 5 conversations to feel like, no, I know my stuff, I've serviced really well. Let me start going into the market. So number 3, don't wait till you have a finished product in mind. You could start those conversations early on, starting today. Number 4, trying to hire a branding team. Now, I've seen a lot of people pay PR agencies, major networks all around the world. So their brand looks pretty, but your brand has no value. You have not built an authentic brand or audience or even a vision for what you want to do. And I think we tend to not appreciate the authentic, raw nature of bootstrapping and building something from scratch. So your community can see that evolution and be inspired by your growth. Some of you go from no one to somebody overnight just because of a branding agency, and it's a huge disconnect because people didn't see it coming, and it's forced. Don't pay thousands of dollars into a branding team. You can pay thousands of dollars to learn how to build your brand. That's completely different. That's investing in knowledge and investing in yourself. But paying the PR agency for something that you're just not ready for doesn't make sense. So for me, I learned the hard way that don't go that route. Just build. Even if you cringe when you look back on it, there's a beauty and a humility to know where you started and having people see that journey and love you for it. I promise you, you'll be embarrassed, But I promise you, you'll be grateful for it because it also will remind you when you get to certain stages in your career, you need to be reminded of how far you've come. And the people who are with you will appreciate the growth that you've cultivated over the years and bringing them alongside with you. That one is very, very true and important. Okay. Number 5 is waiting to figure out all the different software tools needed to get started. Listen, stop it. Stop it. I know we live in an age of AI, tool this, tool that, tool that. No. I am a tech mania. I know all the tools. I literally could do an entire 3-month series on all the tools you will need to hack the internet because I use all of them and I know how to use them well, right? I'm a marketing hack mania, okay? But simplicity is what scales. Some of you are overcomplicating your starting point too much and you're trying to replicate someone's finish line to your beginning. Stop it. Basic Google Docs, spreadsheets, even a basic CRM. If you feel like CRM is too much, even just Google Docs and spreadsheets and going live on social is enough for you to just go to work. Okay. Calendly, basic booking software. That is it. You do not need all the bells and whistles to get started. Don't be like other people. Don't be like me where I thought that, oh, well, this person is using this software, but I don't know how to connect it with this. Do I use Zapier to automate it? Don't do it. I'm here to tell you, you could build a $1 million brand, a multi-million-dollar brand, generate millions with no tools. I know that sounds crazy, but you can do it. I've done 6 figures year on year with my personal brand in the beginning without tools because I got to the point where I had burnout and I stopped and I started from scratch. Worked tremendously well. You can too. And the next one I will share with you, and this one is probably it's a big one. And I think let me tell you this. You're not as big as you think you are, me included. Okay. And I think we've gotten to the point because now we could cultivate all these, fancy followers on Instagram and look like we got a big name because we have a good branding on our profile. We got attached a couple of media logos to our brand. We think we are we're the shit. Like, we're celebrities. Listen, no, you're not. You're not as important as you are. Stop trying to not make mistakes in public. I am someone who is very raw and authentic and vulnerable. And even I myself, I remember this is around the time with my 3rd child, especially my 4th one, where everything was kind of like going well, but at the same time, things were going wrong. I was going on a sabbatical. I went through a period of depression. So I lost a lot. And one thing I will tell you with today's day and age, when you're disconnected to your audience, it's almost like starting from scratch. And so I found myself about 10 to 12 years in with a strong personal brand, starting over from scratch, and doing things that people say, like, why are you doing that? I thought you had all this. I thought you had that. And people will do that to you. They'll be like, oh, I thought you had this luck. I thought you had these brands that you're working with. Don't be embarrassed to trial and error publicly and start from scratch. If there's anything I want you to take from today, please remember this. And I'm almost about to get emotional saying this. You will regret, I promise you will regret not trying things out than trying to look perfect to people that don't freaking matter. Stop allowing other people's opinions to stunt your motherfucking growth. Stop it. I have seen so many of my peers not try things that I know will work for them because they don't want to have maybe 2 people show up on a live, 1 comment on a post, or an announcement just get crickets. It's okay. I am someone to tell you that I'm at the point where whether it gets 0 likes or no, I don't care anymore. I am going to try it because I know where I want to get to. And even if it means I need to start over again and again and again, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And I'm going to do it. And I'm going to keep doing it until I figure out where I need to be. You need to get so shameless in your growth that you don't give a damn, even the people that you admire most, who is watching you in the path of you growing the vision and manifesting what you need to manifest. Stop it. Okay? I promise you, personal branding is all about servicing others, putting yourself out there, seeing what people say, seeing what people react, and being so founded in your expertise, your experience, your journey, and your story, and knowing that it's going to build you up in a way that creates value for others. That it's okay if you stumble a couple of times in public, if you embarrass yourself. There are things that I know you don't want to see. You don't want to see that people are not commenting on your posts, people are not sharing, people are not engaging. You don't want to do a webinar where 2 people showed up. Go ahead and do that. Go ahead and show up. Show up if there's 0 people online. Show up if nobody's watching. Show up if no one's sharing. Show up if no one's commenting. Do it. Do not get bamboozled by the society that's telling you that if you don't have a big, loud announcement, engagement, that you should not move forward. Don't do it. Move forward. Take the embarrassments as learning points. Take everything as a part of your journey to build you for what you need next. Biggest thing that I would say. And that leads to my last regret and my last point that I will share with you today. Not learning soon the techniques that will work and applying them. Like, look, at the end of the day, there's a lot of people who are ahead of me that have done these things. And, me being so regimented in my own processes and not like learning from others, I had to do it anyway. I had to learn a lot of things from scratch. Some of you think you're an expert in something, but if you are really good at what you do, you wouldn't be in the position that you're in. Let that sink in, right? If you really are good at what you do, you would not be in the position that you're in. Something is missing. There's a missing puzzle in the piece. You might have the masterpiece, but just because you have some broken pieces, no one can see the marvel, right? Fix it. Take a step back, go back to the basics, go back to the fundamentals. Even for me, starting from scratch, learn the techniques, because there are people who have less talent than you who are winning more than you because they are willing to be humble enough to go back and start from scratch. I see a lot of talented people say, well, I know more than this person. That person figured something out that you didn't figure out. Go back and see what they're doing and figure out for you what you need to be doing. Figure out the missing pieces and do it anyway. Okay? That's all. And so with that said, I hope, those tips and advice and feedback really helps, because when I think about all the different things that's happening in today's economy, you need to really be steadfast in building your personal brand and in doing it in a way that is truly remarkable, truly committed. And I invite you to work with me so I could work with you to help you on that journey. A lot of you know that personal brand management is crucial, but maybe you need help. And I invite you to join me on the Personal Brand Management Accelerator Coaching Program, where I will help you do just that. This is going to be an amazing opportunity because many of you know I don't coach year round, but when I do, I'm all in, right? This is going to be an amazing opportunity for you not just to learn from me and my journey and how I will help you build your personal brand, but get really productive about your personal brand, because each session that I'm going to have with you is going to be like an execution workshop. We're going to get things done, right? Second, it's time for you to start planning and forecasting ahead, right? Find out how profitable your personal brand is today and how you can increase your brand value from an income perspective, from an opportunities perspective, months in advance. It's time you start forecasting and not trying to retroactively catch up, right? Let's forecast the profitability of your brand. Let's ultimately exercise your personal branding management muscle ASAP, so you are ready to perform at way higher levels at different stages of your career, so you could open doors in your life in ways that you didn't see coming. A lot of you are waiting for the perfect opportunity. There will never be a perfect opportunity. The only thing you could do is flex and exercise the muscle, so that way when the opportunity arises, you're ready to meet it. because this program is not just about personal brand building, it's about personal brand management, helping you get your personal brand to be more purposeful, profitable in 2024 and beyond. So if you want to join me, I welcome you to join me on this journey. I invite you to be a part of this experience and get yourself to the next step immediately, because these regrets, I don't want you to have them. I want you to move forward and really manifest immense opportunities going forward. So with that, I wish you the best of luck. I'm so excited that you are here with me today, and I hope this brief conversation served you well today. Until next time, keep building, keep growing, and keep sharing your light. Bye-bye.